Last week, I was standing on a used car lot watching a salesman aggressively avoid eye contact with a row of luxury SUVs like they owed him money. No joke, there were over 15 of them, all discounted twice, sitting there like leftovers nobody wanted. And here's the part that should make you stop scrolling. 3 of those SUVs? Same engines as the ones people proudly overpay for, same drivetrains mechanics trust, just wearing the wrong badge. And today, on Old Man Garage, I'm breaking down the 3 luxury SUVs I'd actually spend my own money on. I mixed the order on purpose, because the last one? That one might ruin your entire car shopping logic. Let's get into it. All right, we're not easing into this gently. We're starting with one that surprises people the same way pineapple on pizza does. You don't expect it to work, and then somehow it absolutely does. Number 3, the Buick Enclave. Yeah, I can already hear somebody in the back closing the tab. Buick? Really? Listen, I had the exact same reaction the first time someone asked me about one. I thought Buick was what you bought after you gave up on having fun and started collecting coupons. Then I actually worked on a few. And now, I've got customers driving these things who only come see me for oil changes, which, from a mechanic's perspective, is honestly kind of rude. I miss them. Here's the deal. The second-generation Enclave from 2018 to 2022 is one of those vehicles the market just decided to ignore. Not because it's bad, but because it doesn't flex hard enough in the Starbucks parking lot. Meanwhile, under the hood, it's running a 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6 pushing 310 horsepower. No turbos, no drama, no check engine light just for emotional support. Just a solid, proven engine that General Motors has been refining for over a decade. It's paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission that, by this generation, finally figured out what it wanted to be when it grew up. Smooth shifts, predictable behavior, no weird identity crisis at 45 miles per hour. Now let's talk money, because this is where it gets funny. A 2019 Enclave Premium with around 70,000 miles, you're looking at somewhere between $19,000 and $23,000. You know what else you can get for that money? A base model compact SUV with cloth seats and the personality of a toaster. Or you could get something that feels like it accidentally wandered out of a Cadillac showroom. I'm talking heated and cooled seats, a panoramic sunroof, a cabin so quiet you start hearing your own thoughts again, which may or may not be a good thing depending on your life choices. I had a guy last year, plumber, about 6'3", who came in complaining every SUV felt like he was wearing it instead of driving it. I told him, go test drive an Enclave. He looked at me like I just suggested a minivan. 2 hours later, he comes back and says, why does this feel better than everything else I drove? Because nobody told you about it. That's why. Now compare that to something like the Audi Q7 from the same year. Beautiful SUV, no doubt. But once that warranty disappears, it's like adopting a very expensive pet that only eats $1,000 repair bills. I've seen Q7 owners walk in smiling and leave calculating which kidney they like less. Meanwhile, the Enclave, annual maintenance averages around $850. And honestly, most of that is just regular wear items, brakes, fluids, basic stuff. The most expensive repair I've personally seen on one of these was a water pump around 120,000 miles. About $600. That's not a breakdown. That's just the car politely asking for attention after years of behaving itself. Now, if you're shopping for one, here's what you want to check. And don't skip this part, because this is where deals are made. First, pop the oil cap and look underneath. You're checking for any milky residue. Older versions of this engine had coolant issues. By 2018, it was mostly sorted, but still, trust, but verify. Second, take it on the highway and give it some throttle from 50 to 75 miles per hour. You want smooth shifts. If it hesitates or jerks, it might just need a transmission relearn, or it might be something more expensive. That's your negotiation leverage. Third, test the start-stop system. If it acts confused, don't panic. Sometimes it just needs a software update. Cars these days crash more digitally than mechanically. And fourth, check the panoramic sunroof drains. If they're clogged, you might find water stains where water definitely should not be. Electronics and water mix about as well as soda and a keyboard. Now, who is this SUV actually for? If you need 3 rows, want something comfortable, and don't care if your neighbors think you should have bought something with a German badge, this is one of the smartest buys out there. If you're planning to tow heavy every weekend or go rock crawling like you're auditioning for a survival show, yeah, this ain't it. It's a unibody crossover. not a mountain goat. But for normal human life, school runs, road trips, Costco missions where you question your financial decisions halfway through the store, it's perfect. And here's the punchline. You're basically getting Cadillac-level comfort for used Honda Civic money. Let that sink in. And if this one already made you raise an eyebrow, the next SUV is going to make you question why people are still overpaying for certain prestige badges. Quick favor, send this video to that one friend who thinks buying a German SUV out of warranty is a smart financial decision. Let's help them before it's too late. All right, if that last one caught you off guard, this next one is where things start getting uncomfortable for people who shop with their ego instead of their brain. Number 2, the Acura MDX. This is the SUV that quietly racks up 180,000 miles while its owner is apologizing to me because the cabin air filter is a little dusty. Meanwhile, I've got a BMW X5 in the next bay throwing a tantrum because it detected emotions. Here's what makes the MDX so dangerous to the car market. It doesn't look like a bargain. It just is one. Under the hood, you've got a 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6. No turbos, no nonsense. This is part of Honda's J-Series engine family, which has basically been around since flip phones were cool and somehow refuses to die. And I mean that literally. These engines don't quit. They just slowly accumulate mileage like it's a hobby. Now yes, it uses a timing belt instead of a chain. And I know somebody's already typing, deal breaker. Relax. That service runs about $900 every 100,000 miles. That's not a flaw. That's scheduled maintenance. It's like going to the dentist. Ignore it long enough and things get expensive real fast. From 2016 onward, it's paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission. Early versions had some awkward shift logic, like the car was overthinking every decision. But by 2017 and newer, the software updates cleaned it up nicely. So if you want the sweet spot, go 2017 to 2020. Now let's talk about the part people don't expect, how it drives. Acura's SHAWD system is one of the smartest all-wheel drive setups out there. It actually sends power where it's needed instead of just pretending for marketing purposes. You take a corner in one of these and suddenly you're like, wait, why does this feel confident? Because it is. Now price comparison. And this is where people start making bad decisions. A 2018 MDX with around 70,000 miles, you're looking at roughly $19,000 to $23,000. A comparable Lexus RX 350 from the same year, $26,000 to $30,000. And don't get me wrong, the RX is a great SUV, but it doesn't even have a real third row. That third row is basically a suggestion. The MDX, actual usable space. You can put real humans back there, not just your enemies. I had a customer, retired teacher, came in with paperwork ready to drop $32,000 on a used BMW X5, certified, polished, smelling like financial regret waiting to happen. She asked me to check it out. I looked at the maintenance schedule and told her straight up, in about 18 months, this car is going to ask you for about $2,800 in repairs. Valve cover gasket, oil filter housing gasket, water pump, the usual German welcome package. She blinked. Then she asked, "What would you buy?" I pulled up a 2018 MDX. Lower price, more space, more reliability, less drama. She bought it. 8 months later, 1 oil change, 0 issues. That's not luck, that's engineering. Now, if you're shopping for one, here's what you want to look at. First, listen for any whining noise from the rear differential when you let off the gas around 35 miles per hour. The SHAWD system needs fluid changes every 30,000 miles, and a lot of owners treat that recommendation like it's optional reading. If you hear whining, that's your chance to negotiate about $1,000 to $200 off the price. Second, test every button in that infotainment system, especially on 2014 to 2018 models with the dual screen setup. Sometimes they develop ghost touches, which sounds paranormal, but it's just electronics being dramatic. Annoying? Yes. Expensive? Not really. Still worth checking. Third, look at the timing belt history. If the car is over 90,000 miles and it hasn't been done, that's leverage. You're not complaining, you're negotiating. Now let's be honest about what this car really is. It's basically a dressed-up version of the Honda Pilot. And I mean that in the best possible way. Because the Pilot is one of the most reliable 3-row SUVs ever built. So what you're getting here is Honda reliability. With leather seats, better handling, and just enough luxury to make you feel like you made it, without actually ruining your bank account. And the reason it's cheap? Simple. It doesn't have the same badge hype as Lexus or the European brands. That's it. That's the whole reason. The market penalizes it, and you benefit. Now, if this one already made you rethink your entire shopping list, the next SUV, the last one, is on a completely different level. We're talking about something mechanics quietly recommend to their own families, something that doesn't just last long, it outlives expectations. And once you understand why, you might stop looking at every other luxury SUV entirely. This is it. If the last two made you rethink things a little, this one is where people either lean in or get personally offended. Number 1, the Lexus GX 460. This is the SUV I tell people to buy when they're tired of cars acting like needy relationships. You know the type. Always asking for attention, always needing money, always something feels off. Yeah, not this one. This is the one you marry, pay off, and forget it even has problems. Now here's what makes the GX 460 so ridiculous. Under all that leather, wood trim, and polite luxury, it's basically built like a tank that accidentally went to finishing school. It shares its bones with the Toyota 4Runner and the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. Same body-on-frame construction, same philosophy, same we built this to survive bad decisions energy. And then there's the engine, a 4.6-liter V8, naturally aspirated. No turbochargers trying to impress anyone, no complicated nonsense. Just a big under-stressed engine that wakes up every morning ready to work like it's got something to prove. I've personally seen these go past 280,000 miles. Not rebuilt, not second engine. Original. Still running smoother than some brand new cars with trust issues. I've got a customer right now sitting at 320,000 miles. Still towing. Still driving. Still not calling me unless it's for something basic like brakes or fluids. Meanwhile, someone else is out there making monthly payments on a Range Rover Sport and also making monthly payments to their mechanic. That's a two-income relationship. I had a guy come in, mid-40s, tech executive, looking at a Range Rover Sport for about $42,000. Low miles, looked amazing, probably smelled like expensive regret. He asked me what I thought. I told him, if you buy this, set aside about $4,000 a year for repairs. He laughed. I didn't. Then I showed him a GX 460, similar year, slightly higher miles, about $33,000. Same luxury feel, same comfort, but underneath, completely different story. He bought the GX. 3 years later, just basic maintenance. About $600 total. That's not a typo. That's peace of mind. Now let's talk numbers. A 2016 GX 460 with around 90,000 miles. You're looking at roughly $28,000 to $33,000. And yeah, that's more than the other two on this list. But here's the difference. This isn't cheap because it's overlooked. This is cheap because it refuses to die. Fuel economy? Not great. Let's be honest. Around 15 miles per gallon city, 19 highway. This thing drinks fuel like it just got out of the desert. But you know what it doesn't drink? Your savings account. Now, reliability-wise, people throw around average numbers, around $700 a year in maintenance. From what I've seen, closer to $450 if you take care of it. And most of that is just wear and tear stuff. Nothing dramatic. Nothing that makes you question your life choices at 2 a.m. Now, if you're shopping for one, here's what you want to check. First, look at the rear air suspension. When you start the vehicle, it should level out properly. If it's sagging or slow, those airbags might be getting tired. Fix? Around $900. Not cheap, but also not catastrophic. Second, check underneath for rust. This is a body-on-frame SUV, so the frame matters, especially if it spent time in colder states. Third, test the third-row seats. The power folding mechanism can fail. It's not the end of the world, but it's annoying enough to use as leverage. And here's a pro tip. If you can find one with the off-road package, grab it. The KDSS system improves both on-road handling and off-road capability. It's one of those rare things that actually does what the brochure claims. Now let's be real about who this is for. If you want the latest tech, giant screens, ambient lighting that looks like a nightclub, this isn't your car. If you want something that starts every time, handles bad roads, tows up to 6,500 pounds, and just keeps going like it has a personal grudge against failure, this is it. This is the closest thing the modern car market has to a buy it once and forget about it vehicle. And that's exactly why people who know don't sell them. So let's put it all together. You've got the Buick Enclave, the quiet overachiever nobody talks about. The Acura MDX, Honda reliability in a suit that actually fits. And the Lexus GX 460, the one that makes mechanics sleep well at night. 3 completely different SUVs, same idea. The best deals are the ones sitting on the lot, being ignored. And next time someone tries to sell you a great deal on a used luxury SUV with 60,000 miles and no warranty, you'll know exactly what questions to ask. And more importantly, what to avoid. If this video saved you from making an expensive mistake, do me a favor. Hit that like button so more people don't fall into the same trap. And if you've got that one friend who's about to buy a great deal German SUV, send them this video. Save a wallet today. This is Old Man Garage, where we keep it real, keep it running, and try not to cry at repair bills. Drive smart, take care of your car, and it'll take care of you.